Your reality and your specific person are guiding you exactly to what you desire. So whether that is a loving relationship, being married, even a text message, a phone call, a date, your entire life, your entire subconscious, everyone and everything around you is trying to conspire to get you there. And yesterday, I made a video in which I showcased how we can manifest for each other, and I asked you to look out for signs. And if you haven't checked out that video, I would check it out after. But this is the follow-up video to that, telling you exactly how to get to the outcome you want in the easiest way possible. So what we're going to be doing is amplifying or following the successes that are happening around us. A lot of the times we refer to these small successes as breadcrumbs, but if we were to take a moment and think back to the fairy tale where they follow breadcrumbs, that's exactly what we want to do. Your reality is kind of like, you can think of it as another aspect of you trying to speak to you and trying to guide you to the outcome. Remember, everything is going to show up to us in the way of the bridge of events. And so if we're not seeing the bridge of events, or we're refusing to go down it, or refusing it to actually come to us, then we're not going to get the level of success that's available to you in this moment. Because yes, everything is available to you. You're a specific person texting, calling, asking you out, proposing. I know proposal seems crazy right now, but that is absolutely available to you at this current moment. We just have to mentally follow, or at least allow the bridge of events to occur to us. You can think of your reality kind of as giving you an unspoken language. In everything that you do, every moment of the day, it's telling you what feels right based on your assumptions and what feels wrong. And so that's what we want to do today. We just want to follow those breadcrumbs, because what is going to be at the end of these breadcrumbs, it's going to be your manifestation. At the end of seeing signs in your reality, or receiving messages, or hearing people talk about your specific person, at the end of that, that is just a small beginning of the bridge that leads to the end. Kind of like if you were to walk an actual bridge, you would say that the first step is the one that leads to the rest of them. Now, the size and length of the bridge is still up to you, because again, remember, bridge is always going to show up logical, but logical is not universal. When I say logical, that doesn't mean that it has to take so much time or certain things need to happen. It just means it's going to happen in the way that you desire, or in a way that's going to make sense to you. So if it makes sense, your specific person shows up today, that's what it's going to be. But if you assume or think logically it's going to take a month, then that's how the bridge of events can show up to you. It can only show up in the way of what our highest level of abundance would be, or our highest level of consciousness, which there is no problem with manifesting in a month or in a day, because I would imagine that either way, you'd still be happy being with your specific person. But we can follow this bridge faster if we ask ourselves in every moment, what feels right? And what feels wrong? What feels right in this current moment? What should I be following? If the bridge of events was trying to tell me something, or there were breadcrumbs, again, in the positive, I don't think of breadcrumbs as a negative idea or a negative aspect. Breadcrumbs are very good, right? That's like the bridge. That means the text of your specific person telling you how much they love you is just as important in the bridge as you actually and physically getting married. Those are the same. So we ask ourselves, what feels right? What feels exciting? If I were the version of myself that already had my specific person, what would I be doing? Because everything is trying to guide you there. Your reality is a 3D rendition of your subconscious and of your assumptions. But remember, your body is also in the 3D. What you perceive to be you is not you. You are consciousness. You are this higher consciousness and a higher being. You're basically one and permanently with your God self and your God state or your higher self, however you want to refer to it. Thus meaning your physical body, which we don't perceive as being in the 3D, is technically a part of the 3D. It is a rendition or reflection of who you are. With that being so, your 3D body must interpret or act in the 3D in the way of the language that your entire reality is trying to tell you. So the bridge is also in accordance to what your physical body is going to follow. We just have to pay attention to that. Now, it doesn't have to be something extraneous or hard or difficult or challenging. It's all in relation to an easy language. You can almost think of it as like a motherly figure, like a Mother Earth, secretly whispering to you, telling you exactly where to go with as much kindness and as much love as it possibly can muster. And so that's what we want to be thinking about, and that's what we want to be following. And so as a follow-up, because I definitely want you to comment all of the successes, the signs, everything that you kind of saw in your reality down below. So again, even if you saw some repeating numbers, if you heard someone talk about your specific person, if you saw more couples than normal, all of those are positive breadcrumbs. It's the spoken or unspoken language, because it's not a physical word that's being spoken. Your entire reality is telling you where to go and what to follow, and the fact of you being on the right direction of the current bridge or not based on your feeling. And so the way to amplify this, because I promised everyone I would make a video amplifying all the successes that we had. Again, that was you were being manifested for, so there's nothing you needed to do. You just had to focus on what positive successes were happening. But now, all I want you to do is contemplate every single success in what you experienced yesterday, no matter how small or how large it was. Or you can even imagine successes you wanted or potential ones. And I want you to contemplate how this can lead to an even greater success. And I wrote down a couple examples for you to think about. So let's say you saw something that reminds you of your specific person. If that's the case, we can contemplate, so how would this actually lead to something greater? How could this actually be the unspoken words of my subconscious and my reality leading me to this outcome? How is this a reflection of my assumption taking me to my desire? And a really easy one is, so if you saw something that reminds you of your specific person, maybe they see the same exact thing. Or since it is so obvious for you to contemplate or see, why can't it be so obvious for them to see as well? And that, of course, would have them reminded of you, or if you've never met them, it would have, when you guys meet up for the first time, this weird sensation in them that they are very familiar and have seen or felt you before in some way, right? That's an amazing reason. Another example is, maybe you hear your friends or someone talking about your specific person. And if that's the case, maybe they were secretly telling these individuals all these amazing things about you, telling how much they missed you, how much they care about you, but your friends don't want to kind of spoil the surprise yet. And so that's another reason in which we're contemplating the outcome of how this is going to lead to something greater. Because like we talked about earlier, the breadcrumbs lead to a loaf of bread, right? At the end of it, right? And like the fairy tale goes, I keep saying that because I don't remember exactly what fairy tale it was, but as the fairy tale goes, they followed the breadcrumbs to, I think it was like a house of candy, but either way, just think of it as a metaphor. We're following the breadcrumbs towards the outcome that we want. As well, if you ever want to think, okay, what is because the bridge of events is going to try to come to you in a way that makes sense to you and your assumptions, but also is the quickest possible route. Your reality is trying to get you there in the best possible way. So anytime you're faced with choices, so let's say texts, responses, plans, what to do, what to affirm, what to think, I want you to just bring out a piece of paper. You can even contemplate this and write down one side feels right and the other side feels wrong. And just comment or think about the potential outcomes and what feels right and what feels wrong. But be as as one with your internal state as you possibly can. So if something feels right to text your specific person, write that down on there. If it feels wrong, write it on the other side. To act something out, to go to the movies or whatever it is, if you start to get in tune with what feels right and what feels wrong, you're gonna be on the bridge in the quickest possible way. And I know it sounds crazy to really think about the fact that your reality is constantly speaking of you. And I think we might not have ever, I don't know if you've ever thought about your physical body being in the 3D, but that's something that really kind of helps me out, or the fact that every single thing around me and around you too is going to have reasonings and some sort of communication to your state, because everything is a reflection of you. Even a coffee cup on the table or someone walking by, everything has meaning if we are going to see it, but most of the time we completely miss these positive movements because we're focused on something else. I also want you to do one more thing. I want you to set a timer 2 to 3 times a day. So maybe I wrote down to pick 1111, 222, and 555, okay? So you have to be on non-military time for this, but 1111, 222, 555, and then every time that goes off, I want you to look around you and ask yourself, what is my reality telling me? What feels exciting to do next? How is this the bridge taking me to where I want to go? And the more we contemplate that, the more we're going to see in our reality that specific expression, and then we can follow it easily and effortlessly, acting on the bridge, allowing our subconscious mind to do all the work for us, because all we're doing is just following what it's telling us to do. It's not that we have to have this intense agency of acting it out. If you assume and have a desire within your mind and you imagine it to be true, your reality is going to be given it to you. So don't think of manifestation as being difficult, hard, or something challenging. It's all on acting out and following the breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs are not bad. Breadcrumbs are the bridge of events. Now, this doesn't mean that you only have you have to have a whole bunch of breadcrumbs before you get to the loaf. It might be one breadcrumb, right? All we have to do is assume it, and this belief is going to help act that out massively. Now, again, like I said, keep me updated on all the successes that you manifested or created yesterday, or signs, because the more we kind of reiterate those, the more we're going to see, as well as just make sure to comment any questions, any thoughts, any worries, any feelings, any fears, anything like that. Comment it down below as well. If you did have any questions that you didn't want to reach out to me or post publicly, make sure to reach out to me at kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally. And as always, make sure to try this out, because this is going to be the huge and largest next step in creating massive momentum and quantum leaping to the reality that you want. We just have to understand and change the way we're viewing everything. So as always, if you know for a fact that you are still in this, you are acting this out, this is easy and effortless, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. Huge shout out, thank you so much for subscribing, because really you're doing me a favor, because I get to watch you manifest your specific person, and we can all be one cheering each other on, cheering you on. And as always, huge shout out to all my members. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I can't wait to see every single one of you in my next video tomorrow.